Good morning, everyone. Kirsten Thrush here from Essential Life Balance with Kirsten Thrush, and welcome to our Essential Oils and Emotions webinar. Now, we all have emotions. We all have good emotions and days when we feel amazing. We all have emotions that are lower emotions and days when we don't feel so good. Some of us have all of those emotions in one day or 1 hour, and I love that we can use our essential oils to support us through dealing with those emotions. They're not magic. They're not going to make our emotions go away. They're not going to turn us into zombies, but they're going to support us as we work through what we need to work through in dealing with the emotions that we've got going on. So I am just going to screen share and bring up my presentation for you. Great, here we go. So are you ready to feel good more often? Because that's what this is all about. This is about supporting our emotions so that we can feel good or feel great more often. So in this class, you're going to learn some of the science behind emotion and essential oils. Now, for those who know me, you'll know that I've got an engineering background. So I love the science. Don't worry, I'm not going to get into too much detail about the science, but I am going to give you some background, just to give you some peace of mind that these aren't all airy-fairy snake oils and hippie dust. There is some science behind why they work emotionally. I'm going to talk about some tools and habits for healthy body chemistry, and we're going to give you some practical emotional wellness steps that you can take right now. So you're created to function as a whole, in body, in mind, and in spirit. And we need to nourish all three of these areas. So sometimes we forget, and we might be really, really good at looking after our body and exercising, but we forget to nourish all of us, and we forget to nourish one of those other parts, and that's when we become unbalanced. And that's when things just don't feel right. So we're going to talk about how we can nourish mind, body, and spirit to function as a whole person. So our body is amazing. Our body wants to be well. So our body is made up of lots and lots and lots and lots of intelligent cells, all wired to restore health. So it wants to be healthy, and it's going to do everything it can to make you healthy. So our emotions, they're actually information carrying molecules. So they're chemical. When we have an emotion, we get a chemical reaction. And those chemicals bind to and react with the cell receptors. They get into the cells, they actually permeate the cells, and they can impact our cell function and our behavior. And a really, really good example of that is when someone does something that really upsets you, and you feel like you've been kicked in the gut, and you actually can feel stomach upset and feel uncomfortable. It's that real, ugh. No one has kicked you in the stomach. No one's punched you in the stomach. No one's done anything to your stomach. And yet you're having a physical reaction because of those chemicals that happened with that emotion that are now attaching to your cell receptors, getting into the cells, and giving us a physical reaction to that emotion. Isn't that amazing? So much of what we feel affects us physically, and so much of what happens physically to us, we can have an emotional response as well. So emotions are processed throughout our whole body. Emotions aren't something that just happen in our head. Emotions are actually processed throughout our whole body. 3 brains, and this is becoming a lot more common to talk about these days. So we know that we've got our mind. That's our logic and our intellect. So where our subconscious is, it's 90% of our behavior. But we've got 2 other brains as well that are helping our body to work. We've got our heart brain, which is our intuition. And there are so many neural pathways that run from the heart to the brain. So often that's when we feel something and when we just know it. We just know it in our heart. That's our heart brain working. And then we've got our gut brain, and that's what I was talking about before, and our gut feeling. So 90% of the body's serotonin, which is its feel-good, happy hormone, is actually made in the gut. And that is why when we look after our gut health, we're actually looking after our emotional health. So there's a lot of work being done lately with people who are suffering from anxious feelings and who are feeling low to actually work on the gut and improving the gut health, because that's helping to improve the emotional health. And when those three are all working really, really well together, then we start to feel connected and we feel good. So when our brain and our head, our heart brain and our gut brain are all in sync, it's all about wellness. So emotions are interesting because emotions are something that happens once off. So we have an emotion, it's very short-lived. An emotion can turn into a mood, and a mood is something that's a lot longer-lived. But then that can also affect our beliefs. So what we feel emotionally can affect what we believe. And our three brains instinctively process every single life experience. So if we look at this mum, and I'm sure a lot of us can relate to this, the phone's ringing, the baby's screaming, the dog's jumping on her. It's like, hello, what's going on? The three brains are instinctively processing this life experience. The brain's going, I've got to figure out what to do. What am I going to do first? Am I going to answer the phone? Am I going to talk on the phone? Am I going to calm the crying baby, and I'm going to deal with the dog? The heart's just going, I'm so overwhelmed. And the gut's going, I'm stuck. I just don't know what to do. And that gives a reaction. So everything's thinking different things. We get conflicted feelings, we get head tension, we get upset stomachs, and we get disconnection. So this is when everything isn't working together as it should be. We get that disconnection and we react. And this is where we don't feel at ease, or we can feel at dis-ease. And that's where our beliefs come in. If that happens often enough, where we have a life experience, we react to it, we have emotions, and it happens often enough, it can help to foster these beliefs. That I'm not good enough, I can't do it all beliefs. So we have a life experience, we process our life experience, we have a reaction to that. It happens often enough through the cycle, and it ends up with a belief. And the great thing is that we can actually use our essential oils through this to help us to be able to process things a bit differently. So one thing I want you to do is I want you to have a think about, what of these beliefs have you got? What beliefs have you got that you would like to weed out? What do you want to get rid of? And I'd like you just to write those down. Grab a piece of paper and write down what you want to get rid of. Because what you can then do is we can then investigate what oils we can use to help us. So if we're looking at something like, I'm not good enough, bring in frankincense, bring in our oil of truth to actually remind us who we really are. Frankincense helps to cut through the BS that society tells us and the BS that we tell ourselves, and helps to remind us who we really are. So essential oils can help support healthy emotions. So they can help support us through weeding out those what we don't want, but they can also really help support us with healthy emotions as well. So emotions react with your cells in the same way that essential oils react with your cells. So the essential oils are also attaching themselves to their cell receptor sites, and they're entering into our cells. And that's really, really exciting, because we can use our essential oils chemically to help us physically and to help us with our emotions as well. So if we look at something like wild orange is an amazing essential oil. You put it in your hands, you smell it, and it just makes you feel good. It gives you that real joy bubbles. It makes you smile. So when we're looking at essential oils, they can help support healthy cell function because they're entering into the cells, they're working with the cells, and anchor that healthy biochemistry, so we can use them as aromatic anchors, and they promote both physical and emotional detox. They help us to get rid of that which we don't need. So I love this. This is our essential oil. What you're seeing here is a magnified peppermint leaf. And on that peppermint leaf, you can see the peppermint essential oil and the sacs which they come in. Tiny little bits of the plant. And these essential oils are the plant's defense mechanism and are used for so many different things. And because of their chemistry and how they're based, our bodies accept them. And I just love seeing just what is in there. We see a leaf, but there's so much more that's going on. Did you know that one single drop of oil is 40 million trillion molecules? So they service every cell of the body in a matter of minutes. And they go to where they need to go to. So if we take our balance and we put a drop of balance on our hands and we rub it together, cup your hands to your nose and inhale. Balance is amazing for easing anxious feelings and helping us to ground and to come back to who we are. And I love doing this in a workshop with people because what you see is you see the shoulders drop. So you see when people take those 3 deep breaths, it's just like, shoulders drop, and it helps to just ground them, helps them to come back to themselves rather than having the scattered thoughts all over the place. It's fabulous. It's a really good oil to use to help for your emotional support. So when we are using essential oils, we do need to make sure we're choosing them carefully because there are so many different essential oils out there, and there'll be even more. People are starting to use and appreciate essential oils, and there will be lots of different oils that start coming on the market. So you need to know what you're looking for. You don't want to be using synthetic oils, the toxic chemical fragrances, the Glade plugins, those sorts of things, made in a lab, got no plant matter whatsoever. You've then got food or cooking extracts and flavorings. So while they're good for what they're meant to do and they're good for flavoring our food, they haven't got those therapeutic benefits. Your next grade then is the therapeutic oils, and you'll start to see more therapeutic oils on the shelf. But just be careful because it's totally unregulated and there's no standard about what can be called a therapeutic oil. So you could have somebody who's got a pure bottle of frankincense, or you could go and use cheaper oils. So some of the components in frankincense come from cypress, some come from peppermint, and you can take the little bits, the chemical bits, out of those cheaper oils, put them together in a chemical cocktail, and end up with an oil that's pure because it's come from other oils. It's the same chemical makeup as frankincense, but it's not frankincense. So therefore, frankincense has got all these other things going on with these 40 million trillion molecules in it, that not all of that is going to be there in the chemical cocktail that's made to look like frankincense. So just be careful there. And that's why doTERRA have developed their own standard called Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade. So some people go, it's just a doTERRA standard. They developed it. And I go, absolutely it is. There's nothing else out there. So they develop their own. They make sure that all of their plants are harvested from their natural habitat. There's third-party testing of every single batch of oils. And if the oils don't meet the purity or they don't meet the therapeutic grade, they're not accepted. So we've got the guarantee that every single bottle of oil that we use is pure. It's got no synthetics, it's got no fillers, it's got no alcohols, it's got no herbicides, it's got no pesticides, and it's also of the top therapeutic quality. So how do we use our essential oils for emotional wellness? Essential oils are dynamic. So they're going to provide support for your body physically and emotionally. So you can take an oil like peppermint and it's going to give you energy. It's going to cool you down physically. But emotionally, it's going to also cut through the BS. It's going to clarify. It's going to cool you down if you're hot-tempered. So not only will it cool your body physically, it can help to cool your emotions as well. So when we use them aromatically, and that's using them either in the diffuser or just opening the bottle and smelling it, it's the fastest way to affect our mood. So when we smell something, the aromatic molecules have direct access to the limbic area, which is the emotional area of the brain. And so that's why you can be walking down the road and you can smell an aftershave, and like that, you are taken back to someone you knew who used to wear that straight away. That's that limbic area of your brain. It's working with those memories and those emotions. And I love this because I call my diffuser a legal mood-altering substance. So when my two, who are 10 and 7, come home from school on a Friday and they're tired and they're grumpy, we put lavender and frankincense in the diffuser and we chill them out. When they wake up for school on a Monday morning and they're slow and can't be bothered, we put peppermint and wild orange in there to actually give them some energy and to boost their mood. So I love it. Legal mood-altering substances. It's got to be cool, right? So as I was saying before, peppermint is great for mental support and focus, but it's also really good for mental fog. So really good for both that physical and that emotional. So the second way we can use our oils is topically, and that's on our skin. So if we're looking at helping with brain stuff that's going on, we've got head tension, we feel confused, then put them on the back of the neck, across the forehead, bottoms of the feet. So that's going to help to get to the brain. Now, bottoms of the feet's an interesting one because it's a long way away from the brain, but it's the thickest skin on our body. And so for some oils that are going to be more sensitive, or using them with children, put them on the bottoms of their feet. It's still going to be absorbed into the blood, out through the bloodstream, and it'll end up in the brain. You can apply them over the heart area, inside the wrists, behind your ears, are really good to help with that heart center and with that intuition. And with our gut health, we're definitely over the stomach area. And I like to go clockwise when I'm working with the stomach because that's the way that our internals go. So it's helping to promote that good digestion. And always when we're using them topically, we'll want to dilute them, and we want to dilute them with a carrier oil so that we can use them safely. So breathe, or easy air, as we call it here in Australia, is great physically to help us to take a big breath. It's great to support the respiratory system. It's great for sniffles and snuffles. But it's also really, really good at helping people who are dealing with grief. Because often when we're dealing with grief, we're holding our breath. Breathe just helps us just to take a breath, of fresh air, so it can help us to deal with it. So once again, physically and emotionally. And then the third way we can use our oils is internally. And that helps to balance chemical reactions. So internally, you're getting straight into the cells of your body a lot quicker. Now, just make sure that you're only using the doTERRA oils internally. As I was saying, a lot of the other oils, you don't know what's in them. And if you pick up the bottle and have a read of the label, it will say for dietary use if you can take it internally. There's a number of different ways you can do that. Frankincense and copaiba are great just under the tongue. We can put them in water. So our lime, our lemon, our wild orange, those types of oils are amazing in water. They're going to give you energy. They're going to make you feel good, and they're going to make your water taste amazing. Or for those you don't like the taste of, or a hot oil, so they might be a bit burny on your mouth, just put them in a veggie cap. And any of these ways is going to help to support your overall health. So On Guard is great to help physically with seasonal threats. So this is the one, you've got a sniffle, you've got a snuffle, you've got something going on. It's going to help to support your immunity. But On Guard emotionally also helps with our vulnerability. So On Guard is our protective blend, and it helps to put up a force field. It helps us to protect ourselves from other people's stuff that's coming at us, so we don't feel so vulnerable. Now, as we talked about right at the beginning, one of our three brains, our gut brain, has 90% of our serotonin. So we want to be looking after our gut health. Now, the amazing thing with the Lifelong Vitality Pack is it's going to look after all three brains. It's got tummy tamer oils, which are amazing for our gut health. It's got our fish oils, which are amazing for our brain health, our cardiovascular health, and our gut health. It's got our greens. It's got things like Brussels sprouts and broccoli that we don't eat enough of, which is great for that foundational nutrition. It's got cellular vitality, so it's great to help with boosting the energy at a mitochondria level. It's also got antioxidants that are going to help support our cells. So for me, it's absolutely foundational. I think everybody should be on the Lifelong Vitality Pack. People experience more energy. It helps to balance hormones. It helps to support immunity. It helps to balance your moods, and it does all of these things with these three supplements. So I believe everybody should be on the Lifelong Vitality supplements. And then we can support that. And doTERRA do an amazing gut cleanse, which has got a 30-day gut cleanse, which looks at setting yourself up. It looks at cleaning out that which doesn't serve, and then it looks at replacing your good nutrients. And what I've found when I've done the cleanse, it really helps to restore clear thinking, and it improves mood. So as well as all the other things it does, it helps energy, it helps your food to digest better, it really helps emotionally as well. So what do you want to plant? So we looked at what negative emotions we wanted to weed out. What do you want to plant? What would you like to have more of in your life? How would you like to feel? Just write them down. Just write them down so that you can reflect what you want to have in your life. And then we get our moment-by-moment support. And this is where our amazing emotional aromatherapy oils come in. So these are available as undiluted oils, like you can see here. And they're also available as touch oils. And what a touch oil is it's pre-diluted with fractionated coconut oil in a roller that you can take with you and use wherever you like. So with these ones here, you can make up your own rollers, or you can use them in the diffuser. But I love both. I love these ones for my diffuser, and I love my touch blends for having in my handbag for using on the go. So let's talk a little bit about our emotional aromatherapy oils. And they've been beautiful blends which have been blended by doTERRA to help support us through specific emotions. And you can have a look on the wheel and you can pick what emotion you're dealing with and use the oil to suit. So I'm going to start with Forgive. Now, Forgive is a blend of herbs, grasses, and trees. And often what we need to do is we need to start with forgiving. And more often than not, we actually need to start with forgiving ourselves. Because when we hold on to stuff, we can't move forward. We get stuck. We get stuck in where we are. When we forgive, we don't have to forget what's happened. We have to forgive, which allows us to move on. Because often everyone else has moved on anyway, and it's just us stuck where we are. So Forgive is all about that, forgiving and moving on. So it's got a beautiful blend here. It's got citrus. It's got bergamot for the buoyant heart. It's got juniper berry. It's got arborvitae, myrrh, nootka tree. Now, the nootka tree is a really interesting one because it's a relative of cypress, and cypress is often used to deal with grief. So this helps us to deal with that grieving, to forgive ourselves or others, and to move on. And then once we've forgiven, often we need a great big hug. And that's what Console's all about. Console is our comforting blend. And it, to me, is just a beautiful, great big hug. So this has got things like frankincense. It's got patchouli. It's got lang lang. It's got beautiful oils that are going to support us emotionally. It's got oils to support our heart center. It's got oils to support us spiritually. But what I love in this is it's got labdamen and amyris. And these oils are actually oils that give us a bit of a kick in the bum. So this is saying it's okay. I'm going to wrap my arms around you in a great big hug. And I'm going to support you. But I don't want you to hang out and live here. Support you, comfort you, hug you, and give you a gentle push to move on. And that's Console. She's one of my favorite of the emotional aromatherapy oils. And once we've had that great big hug, then often we just feel at peace. So peace is our reassuring blend. Peace is a great blend for anyone who deals with anxious feelings. It's a great blend for when you're worried. It's a great blend for when you're feeling insecure. So peace is a blend of floral and mint. And it's got really soothing oils in it. So it's got vetiver, it's got lavender, it's got clary sage, marjoram. Those really calming oils that are just going to help to bring us down and to realize that no, we're not going to get eaten up by anybody. We just need to chill out and relax. And this is actually a really, really good one to use before public speaking. Often we're afraid. We're afraid of that crowd. We're afraid of what they can do. But really, what can they do? There's no big lions in there that are going to come and eat us. And peace just helps us just to get rid of those insecurities and those anxious feelings and that fear and to calm down. And then once we're at peace, sometimes we need a bit of a kick up of the bum, a bit of encouraging to move on and get stuff done. And that's where Motivate comes in. So Motivate is a beautiful blend of mint and citrus. So citrus makes us feel good. So it's got things like clementine. It's got yuzu, that are real citrus, real uplifting. Mint helps us with energy. So it's got peppermint in it. And then what I love about this is when we're not motivated, it's often because we haven't got the energy, we don't feel good, can't be bothered, or we're afraid. And what I love about this one is it's actually got basil and coriander. So basil and coriander are all about overcoming our demons. They're about putting a scorpion in the mind, pushing those demons away so that we can move forward. Isn't that exciting? Isn't it so cool what doTERRA have done for us? So it motivates the big kick up the bum. Motivate's great to use before you exercise. Motivate's great to use if you want to clean your house. I don't recommend diffusing Motivate at nighttime because I find I just have to get stuff done and my mind won't calm down and go to sleep. I remember diffusing Motivate as I was making dinner one night and the whole pantry got cleaned out at the same time I was making dinner. So just a warning as to when you use these, maybe not the best one to use at nighttime. And then once we're motivated, once we're moving forward, we start to feel good. And chair is our invigorating blend, our uplifting blend. It just makes us feel amazing. So chair is a mixture of citrus and spice, or as I like to say, citrus and spice and all things nice. It's got wild orange, it's got clove, it's got star anise, it's got lemon myrtle, beautiful oils, it's got nutmeg. Now, nutmeg is an interesting one because nutmeg is actually a hallucinogenic. So if you want to have really amazing dreams, get a glass of milk, whether that's dairy milk, whether it's coconut milk, soy milk, whatever you drink, and grate some fresh nutmeg on top of it. Not the stuff you get in the packets that it's been sitting in the supermarket for years, but grate some fresh nutmeg on top of it before you go to bed and tell me what you think. But chia just makes us feel good. I love diffusing this one. I find I diffuse it a lot in the winter because to me, it just uplifts my spirit and reminds me of a really sunny day. So you know in the winter how it can be grey and dreary and our emotions just go blur. Citrus and chia, so chia especially, helps me to get through that. It helps to lift my spirit and go, it's okay, I feel good. I feel alive. It brings the sunshine inside. So that is our chia. And then we get to passion. Now, passion, people see the name and they think bedrooms. And yes, this is an amazing bedroom blend. But passion is also about the passion for life. What are you passionate about? What do you love to do? If you could do anything at all, what would you be doing? Passion helps to reignite that passion for life and what we're doing. It's a mixture of spices and herbs and grasses. So it's got cinnamon, it's got ginger, it's got, what's the one I'm looking for? I can't think of it. It's got amazing oils. And there's one, which name I can't find on the bottle. How's that for typical? It's got oils in here that are euphoric. So they make us feel amazing. It's got oils in here that have been traditionally used by Amazon women to help to get their man in the mood. It's got oils in here that are used in a tea with the Mexicans to help to get their man in the mood. So yes, it's amazing for the bedroom, but it's also, I just love it to reignite your passion for life. Now this one in the bottle, it has got fractionated coconut oil in it, so you can use it as a pure fume straight out of the bottle. Now, for people like me who have got sensitive skin, I like to further dilute it anyway. But you can use it like that, dab it on before you go out for a night on the town with who you love, and it could be an interesting night. So those are our emotional aromatherapy oils, and I just love them. You can do the cycle, and you can start with forgive and move through, or you can just grab the oil you need when you need it. As I was saying, they come in the oils like this that you can use in the diffuser, and you can make your own blends. They come in a beautiful kit that you can buy, or you can get them separately. And they also come in these touch rollers, and these I'm in love with. I take these in my handbag and use them everywhere. Get out, use them when I need to. They're so, so simple. Yes, you can make your own. I don't do faff, and so I just find if they're made for me, brilliant. There's also an Essential Emotions reference app that you can download from the App Store, both with Google and with Android, that you can actually type in an emotion and you can find the oil that's best to help you deal with that emotion. Or you can type in an oil, for example, peppermint, and find out what emotions it will help you with. And then on the third tab, which is really interesting, you can say, oh, I've just got this really sore shoulder that's always sore. I wonder if there's an emotional root that might be behind that. And you can type that in and see what emotions might be behind that. So you do need to look at how you're going to nourish yourself. Our essential oils are amazing at supporting us, but they're one tool in our toolkit. We also need to make sure that we're drinking enough. We need to make sure that we're properly hydrated, both for our health, but also because it helps our essential oils to get through our body as well. We need to make sure that we're doing adequate exercise and movement, and appropriate exercise and movement too, depending on where you're at. So for some people, that may be yoga, and it may be a gentle walk. For other people, that might be resistance training and weight training. Do what's right for you, but make sure you're moving your body so we keep the body that we've got. But in that as well, make sure that you rest and meditate if that's right for you. Rest and spend time in nature. Have time out, disconnect. We spend so much time these days, go, 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 and we forget to stop, and we forget to rest, and we forget to look at what we've got in life. And you know what? If you don't, your body will make you. And I found that one out the hard way. So make sure that you put that element of rest and meditation into your life. And look at what you put in your body. We don't have to wash all our food with dishwashing liquid to make it clean, but we do have to look at what we're eating and the fact that everything we're eating makes us up. Do we want to be made up of hot chips, or do we want to be made up of great nutrition from fruit and vegetables? So eat responsibly to nourish yourself. So I just want to leave you with this thought. You fill a bucket drop by drop. You clear your mind thought by thought. You heal yourself moment by moment. When we're looking at working with our emotions and looking at deep-seated emotional issues we've got going on, it's not an overnight process. It's not something that's going to happen straight away. But when we use our oils, we can support ourselves to help to nourish ourselves, and we can change. And when we change ourselves, we change the world, because it all starts with us. So for those of you who haven't got your essential oils yet, there are a different number of ways that you can get started. I recommend that you go back to the person who invited you to this webinar and you talk to them about the best way for you to get started. For those of you who go, oh my gosh, this is amazing, I know so many others who I can share this with, I recommend you start with the oil sharing kit. It's an amazing kit to start with, and you start with credits that you get back, and you start on fast track to getting the most out of your oils. The Nature Solution Kit is amazing for anyone who wants to make over their life and make over their household, because it includes your essential oils, but it also includes things like your ice blue rub for aches and pains, your hand wash, your diffuser, your fractionated coconut oil, etc. So that's a great way if you want to make over your life. The kit that most people get started with is the Home Essentials Kit. So the Home Essentials Kit includes our 10 most popular oils and a diffuser. And it's the most popular way that people get started. For those on a budget, we've got the Essential Collection Kit, which has the same 10 oils, but they come with 5 ml bottles instead of with 15 ml bottles. And there's not a diffuser. So when you look at the Home Essentials Kit, you're getting 3 times as much oil and a diffuser for less than half the price. But it comes down to what your budget is and how you want to get started. If you love the emotions oils, there is an emotional aromatherapy kit, which has got the emotional oils I chatted about today and a diffuser. And we've also got the Touch Kit. Now, the Touch Kit has got the same oils that were in their Home Essentials, but they're in the Touch. And as I said, they're amazing to be able to use straight on your body. And they're safe to use with kids as well. Once you get your oils, you'll also open up the ability to activate the free oils program or the loyalty rewards, which is where you get to get free products just by placing a monthly order and by replacing your household items such as shampoos, conditioners, skincare, all those sorts of things. It's totally voluntary. You don't have to sign up to loyalty rewards, but it's amazing to activate so that you can get those free products. And I love freebies. So when we're looking emotional support, and this is what this webinar is all about, then I would highly recommend getting started with your emotional aromatherapy oils and your long life vitality pack. You're supporting your emotions and you're helping provide that foundational health. You can then move on after that to replacing your LLV. So we use that monthly, and you might want to support your gut health with some Terrazyme and some probiotics. And then you might want to support detox and support your emotions with something like your lavender peace and your balance. So there's amazing different ways. You don't have to do everything at once. You can slowly build up what you want to do. And as we say, it's drop by drop, day by day, moment by moment. We don't have to do everything all at once. Like, we're in a society at the moment where we just want it now. Right now, thank you very much. Things take time. Good things take time. There's also amazing emotional support for children. So we've got the children's chewables, we've got the children's omegas, which you can put in a smoothie or they can have it off a spoon. Once again, supporting their emotional health because it's supporting their brain, their cardiovascular, and their gut. Amazing probiotics to help with gut health for children. And simple oils like lavender and balance are amazing for supporting our children's emotional health. So I hope you've got something out of today. I highly recommend that you go back to the person who invited you to this webinar or contact me. So send me a message on my Essential Life Balance with Kirsten Thrush Facebook page and I can help you to get started. We've got some amazing specials this month where when you join with one of the kits or equivalent oils, doTERRA actually give you 50 doTERRA dollars that you can use to get free products. So that is for the month of October and November. So if you're watching this webinar in October or November, contact me or contact the person who introduced you to this webinar and ask them how you can get your freebies. So I just want to leave you with this. How are you going to nourish yourself today, tomorrow, this month, this year? Because nature was man's first remedy to lift the mind, renew the body, and heal the heart. I hope you've enjoyed this webinar. I hope you've learned more about essential oils and using them for your emotional health. Please, if you've got any questions, if I can help you get started, please message me on my Essential Life Balance with Kirsten Thrush Facebook page. I'm here to help you, and I'm here to help you to get the most out of your life, to help to bring your life to a beautiful balance. Have an amazing day.